All right. Thank
Good
you.
morning.
Hello. You're back in the tropics. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me. It's Julie from Ocean Rehab and Fitness. We'll get started on today's session. The only thing you'll need today is a physio band, whatever strength works for you. If you don't have that and you have hand weights, there's modifications that can be made for those. So very similar moves with a hand weight instead of the band, but hopefully you have something similar to a physio band handy. We won't be using it quite yet. But I do have planned today that we'll do some intervals. So 1 minute timed intervals where 1 minute is cardio based and the other minute is resistance based, and we'll alternate between those two for a while. But first we're going to start with warm up as usual. So you can get comfortable, maybe close your eyes for a moment and just focus on your breathing. So we'll start with a postural breath, meaning that every breath in stretches you up through the spine, crown of your head close to the ceiling, and every breath out keeps you stretched through the spine, but is a nice even exhale. So big breath in and a nice even breath out. We'll do a few like that. If you like, you can keep your eyes closed. Today, we're going to just change the focus a little bit to kind of the rise and fall of your shoulders. So for exercise, we don't want our shoulders to creep up by our ears using our trapezius muscles. We want to set our shoulder blades in place. So a breath in is going to bring your shoulder blades up towards your ears where we don't want them. A breath out is going to feel that tracking of your shoulder blades down your back being held into position. So breath in, shoulders come up towards your ears. Breath out, shoulders rotate down and back into a nice set position. So we'll do a few more like that. Good, we'll do one more there. Good, and then we'll just turn your focus to some belly breathing just for a moment before you open your eyes. So we'll do the breath in that fills up your belly like a balloon, and a breath out, squeezing your belly button towards your backbone, activating those core muscles. So a few times like that, nice even breaths in and out with the focus on core muscles, squeezing all the air out on that exhale. Good, let's do one more here. All right, you can open your eyes if you had your eyes closed, and we'll get going with a little bit more neck mobility to start our warm up today. So ear to one shoulder, back to center, and ear to the other. Good, last one each way there. And then we'll look down towards our lap, to center, and up towards the ceiling. Just working through range of motion. If you find one spot that feels like it needs a little extra attention, you can stay there for an extra moment, an extra breath if you need to. And we'll do one more like that. Great, and then we'll do a few shoulder checks, starting with just rotation at the base of your skull. So just that shoulder check without any rotation through your spine. And then we'll add a little bit of rotation as an option in a moment here. So we'll do last one each way like this. Good. Come back to center. If you would like to add a little bit of spinal rotation as well, we'll do this fairly slowly. So you'll look over your shoulder and slightly rotate through your spine to look one way, back to center, and then the other. So just getting a little bit more motion, warming up through our spine. Hips sitting forward evenly on both hip bones. Good, last one each way here. And then hands can be on your lap for our forward hinge. If you do not have the core support to be able to hinge, you can do press backs instead. So press into your chair back, Or if you're comfortable with the forward hinge, hands on your lap for now, hinging forward, coming back tall, thinking of maintaining that long spine regardless of your hinged position. So right from the top of your head down to your tailbone, nice and tall. Okay, we'll do 2 more here. And 1. Good, and then from there, we'll move into our press and pull and then add that hinge back in a moment if you wish. So pressing forward, pulling in, starting to activate through the chest on the way out, through the mid-back on the way back in. And then if you are able to hinge without support, you'll start to add a little bit of forward hinge as you press forward, coming back upright with the row back in towards your body. Great. We'll do 3, 2, and 1. All right. And then we'll set our shoulders and start to open up, one hand up, one hand down, diagonally, kind of meeting at center. Doesn't matter which arm you pick first. We'll switch it up after. Great. If you want to add some more spinal rotation into this one, we will rotate towards the side that's going up. So small rotation towards the hand that's reaching towards the ceiling. And maybe you look towards that hand as well, just a little bit more neck motion. Good, we'll do 2 more. And 1. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Shoulders set into position, starting at center, opening those arms diagonally. Staying shoulders square or starting to do a slight rotation towards that upper arm and gazing towards that upper hand as well, if you like. Good. We'll do 3, 2, and 1. Great. Shoulders set. We'll just do 1 more warm up here before we get going. So elbows are up to the side, arms are at a right angle. I'm just going to rotate up and down. Maybe you're pressing just to that kind of flat table position, or maybe you're rotating down just a little bit past that. Just be really conscious of your shoulders and what their mobility is like here. Last 2 and last one here. All right, shake it out, get ready. We're going to move through cardio and resistance 1-minute sequence. Just let me take a drink and set up my timer. So we'll use our physio band for every second exercise. You don't need it quite yet. We're going to start with the cardio, but just have it handy. Okay, timer, where'd you go? There we go. All right, first minute is queued up and ready. We're going to go out and up to start. So this is intended to get the heart rate elevated. If you like that hinge, you can add a little bit of a hinge here as well. And you can add a really active press in both directions. So if you would like to imagine that you're pushing something away from you, both forward and towards the ceiling. Well, let's look at the shoulders woken up right away, won't it? Good. Good, we got 10 more seconds left. Ooh, last one here. All right. So we are grabbing our band. We're gonna do a modified bicep curl first. So I'm gonna let you decide. Trying to minimize some setup here. Let's see here. What I'd like to do is take the band, cross it over to, so band is in one hand and your opposite hand is crossed over to same side knee. We're gonna do a bicep curl here that just gets the top end. So let's go top end only bicep curl. We'll stay on one side. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out a way that we can do minimal setup so that our minute is well spent here. So elbow is close to your side. Great. I'm going to let my timer run out and continue just a little bit longer here. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So that's just a half bicep curl. We'll do some more bicep curling in a little bit. But for now, let's go back to our cardio. I want to give you a full minute. I don't want to cheat you out of 12 seconds worth. So here we go. All right. So our next one we're going to do is down towards the ground and pressing out. So press down, press out. If you would like to hinge, go ahead. If you would rather stay upright, that is fine. So you may hinge on the down press. It's kind of like our burpees, but we're not reaching towards the ceiling. We did that on the last exercise. Press down, press out. Great, we got about 10 more seconds left on this one. And then we're going to set up to do that half bicep curl on the other side. Last one here. All right, so let's set up for the other side, half bicep curl. One hand is on your lap, the other one has the band. Of course, if you have a weight here and you want to do a full curl instead, feel free. Or with the band, half curl. And because we don't have the resistance at the bottom end does not mean you can't go through the full bicep curl motion. So if you would like to go down to your side and then all the way up, getting the resistance at the top end, that is totally fine. Great. Good. My timer has something blocking it, so I cannot even tell you how long is left at the moment. I'll be as surprised as you when the minute's done. Good. Few more here. Here we go. There's the last one. Excellent. All right. Band is set aside, getting ready to do shoulder set. We're going to go, how did I want to do this one? We're going to go up and out and down, up, out, in, down. Good. So elbows up, arms out, bring it in. Elbows up, arms out. Great. Keep going. Up, out, in, down. We have about 15 more seconds here. Good, last one here. All right, set those shoulders, grab the band again. We're going to start in the same setup on that first side, but now we're going to do a front arm raise. So using front shoulder muscles for this next exercise. So one hand can be anchored on your lap. The other one's going to start down by your side and raise up to shoulder level, or maybe slightly above, being really aware of keeping your shoulder down and not letting it creep up for this exercise. Again, if you have a weight instead and you want to use a weight for this one, that is also going to work. Good. The weight gives you that constant resistance. The band in this exercise, as well as the previous one we were doing, the resistance is at the top end of the motion only. Just a little bit of a difference there. Great, last one here. All right, getting ready for another set of cardio moves. This one we're going to do front crawl. So get ready to do some forward scoops. If you want to add a little bit of a hinge or maybe even a rotation here, you can go ahead and do that as well. Or upright, shoulders are square. Arms are rotating forward. Good, just a little bit more here. There's our last one. And we'll even ourselves out with the other side of that band. So taking the band to your second side, one is anchored, one hand is anchored on your knee. The other one is ready, shoulders set and in position to raise up with a straight elbow up to about shoulder height. Slightly above that is fine. Using either the band or a weight if you prefer. And just checking in with your posture along the way as well, making sure you're nice and tall from the top of your head down to your tailbone as you do these raises. Great, we're almost done this one. Last one coming up here. Excellent. We are going to back crawl back to shore again. So shoulders are set, ready to do the back crawl. With an option of a little bit of rotation here as well. So if you would like to challenge your core and it's comfortable for you to add a bit of rotation. Great, keep going here, a few more. Last one each way. All right, we're gonna grab the band again. After we do this exercise, we'll stop for a brief water break. So for this next one, we're going to use mid-back. One arm is going to come straight forward at about chest level. And the other one is going to do a wide row. So elbow pulls back and returns to center. So single arm row. If you're using a weight today instead, you may want to keep the weight a little bit lower. And of course, that's an option with the band as well, if that feels better on your shoulders. And we have the option of rotation here as well. So that rotation always adds just another element of core stability or challenging of core stability. So you can decide whether that feels appropriate today. If you are rotating, we're doing it slow enough that we have full control of that rotation. Good. God, we almost done. We'll do last one here. Excellent. All right, shake out those shoulders. I promised you a water break, so if you need to grab a drink of water. Yes, my timer did indeed go off and it didn't make a sound for that last one. So we did over a minute of that. That's annoying. I'm just going to turn up the volume. Okay. So we'll get ready to start with another cardio exercise next. I'm going to restart my timer and we will do a bicep curl to an overhead press. So bicep curl, overhead press is our next one. Whenever you're ready. Great, keep going. We're halfway through this one. All right, few more here, and then we are doing the second side of that single arm row. So let's do 2 more. And 1. There's the timer. All right, so we will set up to do the same exercise that we did right before our water break on the second side. Shoulders are set. One arm is extended forward. The other one is ready to move to pull elbow back and off to the side, returning to center. Shoulder blade pulls towards your backbone. That is the motion we're looking for with this exercise. So a big squeeze to center. Oh yes, I've given you the option of a little rotation here as well for the last few if you like. Good, there we go, last one. All right, our next one is going to be a seated jack. You have the option of single arm jacks or double arm jack, whichever you prefer. Of course, knowing that moving both arms together gives us a little bit bigger raise of heart rate. So your choice, one arm at a time or both together. Right, almost done this one. There we go, last one each way. Okay, set those shoulders. We're gonna take one extra moment for setup for the next one. If you do not have anti-tip on your chair, we are doing some overhead work next. So you may want to go against a wall for support here. So we're gonna do a lat pull down. One arm is extended overhead to hold the band in place and the other, so it will be one arm extended overhead to hold the band in place, the other pulling down to the side, squeezing elbow towards your side. So both arms will be overhead. If that's not a comfortable move for you and you want to take it a little bit lower, that is fine. I will reset my timer, maybe, and we'll get ready to go. So one arm is extended overhead. The other is pulling elbow down to your side, returning to center up overhead. Great. So we're working on one side for now. We'll even you out after we've done another cardio. Okay, we're halfway through this one. Some minutes feel like they take longer than others, and overhead work is one of those minutes. Only a few more. We got about 10 more seconds. Good. Last 2 times and last one. Excellent. Bring your arms down. Let's do some power sprinter arms for our next one. So elbows are bent, powering forward. You can do really big arms if you want, or keep it nice and close to your side. Lots of power, lots of speed. Great, keep going a little bit longer. Almost done here. There we go. There's my timer. All right, so let's set up for that second side of our overhead lat pull down. Shoulders are low. One arm is extended overhead to stabilize. The other is pulling elbow down towards your side, returning back to our start position. Or if your shoulders do not appreciate this overhead move, bring it more to eye level and see if that feels better. Great, keep going. We'll do a few more like this. We'll do a few more minutes of our intervals and then we'll just change it up to do purely resistance work for the rest of class. All right, you can bring those arms down. Just a variation of one of the ones we've already done. We're going to do elbows out and then arms wide. So elbows pull back, arms pull out. You can keep it low enough that this one shouldn't make your shoulders cry, hopefully. Good. Elbows out, arms out, or hands out. Great, couple more of these. All right, so we are finished with that one. And actually that will be our last cardio one for today. I am going to stop the timer. We're going to set up to do a banded exercise that may take a little bit more setup. So I don't want to have the minute ticking away on me. So the setup for this next one will be different for everyone. I want to do a little bit more rowing and also have a chance to do some bicep curls where we have a little bit more resistance throughout the whole curl. So if you are able to hook the band underneath both feet, I know you can't see my feet right now, or underneath the foot pads of your chair, that would be great. If that is not an option for you, you can have the band underneath both upper thighs instead. It won't be quite as much range of motion, but it will still give some range. Or one more option is to have weights in hand instead. And of course, you can always just move through a range of motion for us here, with us here as well. So my band is underneath both feet right now. And I'm going to do a double arm row, both arms rowing at the same time. I'm also going to give you an option if you have a chance to move away from the back of your chair and you feel like you have the support in that position to do a little bit of a sit back at the same time as the row. If not, that is absolutely fine to have the back support of your chair throughout this motion. So we are either going to be upright for our double arm row, or we are going to be kind of in that rowboat position where you're going to sit back as you row back and then come upright. So this can be with the band under your feet or under your foot pads of your chair, or range of motion, or with two weights in hand as well. Great, so we'll do 4 more like this. We'll go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. If you have that band set up, do not change a thing other than I'm going to change the grip of my hands so that my thumbs are facing up as opposed to my thumbs facing down, as you probably had them a moment ago. So thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling, just a little bit easier on the wrists as we do our bicep curls here. So we will go bands and hands down to your side, shoulders set in position, either at your chair back or away from your chair back, depending on core stability. And then we're going for a full bicep curl. So we get a little bit more resistance throughout the move here than we did when we were doing the band at our knee. Great, so we'll just do a few more here. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Keep that band where it's at. We have one last exercise here, and it will depend on your band's resistance, how large the move is for this next exercise. So we already did the front arm raise, again, from a bit of an abbreviated position where the band was held at our knee. We're now going to do them in this position where we get a little bit more resistance, but what I would like is for you to remind yourself that those shoulders need to stay set and in position so that when the arms come out to the front, your shoulders don't also raise. It's your arms raising using your shoulder muscles. And we have a little extra core stability that's required here as well, as our arms are out with that long lever to the front. Great, we'll do a few more like that. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. And actually, I said that was the last one in this position, but we're going to do one more. We're going to sneak one more in here. I was just mentioning about levers, and that will come into play in the next exercise as well. And again, because we all have different resistant bands, that might also affect these moves. Shoulders still set and in position. We are now using our mid shoulder muscle to either raise with bent elbows to the side or with long arms to the side. So that will depend on your comfort level and the resistance of your band, whether you have the shorter lever using bent elbows or long arm reach off to the side. Good, 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and last one here. All right, you can unwind yourself from your band. We are going to use it just for another moment. If you do not have a band, sorry, I have something coming up on my computer. Cancel, there we go. If you do not have a band, you can also just interlace your fingers for the next exercise here. So depending on your core stability, you'll either be against your chair for this one or slightly forward of your chair back. And we are having the band out front with extended arms. So you can have interlaced fingers or just hands held at about the spacing of your shoulders. We're going to do the oblique challenging exercise where our shoulders are facing forward and our arms are coming side to side. So the more speed we add to this one, the more resistance our oblique muscles, our side core muscles have to provide so that our shoulders don't shift side to side as well. Great. Remembering not to hold your breath. Sometimes when we do core exercises, it's easy to forget and hold your breath. So nice, even breaths in and out. We are going to move this up to a little bit higher, chest level. Great, and then we're going to move it back down to lap level and maybe speed it up for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Excellent. That's actually all we need the band for today, so you can set that out of the way. I'm going to grab another quick drink and we're going to do a few more core exercises. Okay, so we were just using our obliques a little bit in that last exercise, and we'll continue using them now. So shoulders are set. have two different variations of this exercise that we will do together. Our first one hand is reaching down towards the ground. The other is either stabilizing if it needs to on either the base of your chair, the arm of your chair, or just set on your lap as we side flex towards that side that's reaching towards the ground, and use your core muscles on that opposite side to bring you back up to center. So that's our oblique side flex. Great, so we're going to work on this side for another 3 and 2 and 1. Good, and then you will just do a quick little check-in to make sure hips are nice and even in your chair before you switch to the other side. One hand is reaching down, one hand is either stabilizing on your chair or on your lap as you require, and then side flex here. A little bit of mind over matter here. You've got to tell those oblique muscles that it's their job to pull you back up. So our side flex doesn't need necessarily to use a lot of oblique muscle action, but we want it to in this case. So squeeze on the way up. Great. We're going to do 2 more like this, and then I'll give you the second option. And last one. All right. So we are going to go back to the first side, but we have a little change up to do here. So on the first side, I had my hand down towards the ground so that in my case, I'm side flexing to the left and my right obliques are picking me up. I'm going to use my right hand instead now, and we're going to do an upward reach with a side flex. And then like you're grabbing onto something and pulling it, using your oblique muscles back to center. So we've just changed which hand we're using, but the same side oblique. So side flex, up and over, reach and pull down. If this feels like it's not the appropriate amount of workload for you and you'd like to go back to the first version, the one that we just did of this oblique exercise, please feel free. So we're doing a side flex with a side arm pull down. Last 3. And 2. And last one here. Excellent. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So please pick the lower arm exercise if that is better for you, or side flex, reaching up, squeeze and pull down. So the same side that is reaching up is the oblique muscle that is assisting on that return to center. Great, let's do 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Okay, one last core exercise before we get ready to stretch. So our last one, sometimes we have a weight in hand as we do this one, paint shaker, but today I'm just going to use hand over hand, so some fists to do this one. So we don't have any resistance per se, but we can still add that little extra bit of a challenge as you're shaking your hands kind of out and in, out and in. Great. So tell your core muscles that it is their job to really stabilize here. And again, if you have the option of being away from your chair back to challenge the stability a little bit more, that is an option, but please feel free to stay at your chair back if you need to. Great. We're going to slow it down and add a bit of a hinge. So I want you to get still that same feeling of the paint shaker, but now with a little bit of forward hinge, or if you were at your chair back, maybe you're pressing into your chair back instead of this hinge. Good, so we'll do 3, 2, and 1. All right, and then as our final option to this, we're adding just a little bit of rotation as we do this one. So you will press slightly diagonal, and then pull back in, maybe with a hinge, maybe not. So we'll alternate which side diagonal we're moving. So now we're using not only our rectal abdominals, our front core muscles, but also a bit of our obliques again as well. Good, last two per side. And last one, each diagonal. Great. Okay, let's get ready to stretch. So our shoulder muscles, of course, did lots of work today, both with the cardio and with our resistance work. So we'll start with a little bit of shoulder and chest stretch. Hands can be out to the front, coming nice and wide, slightly bent elbow. Nice big breaths in and out here. Good, last two. And one. All right, and then we're taking a low diagonal, reach back behind you for a few. So take a moment and pause at the back end of this motion to get just a little bit more stretch through those shoulders. And then the next time we'll take a little extra time, press back, rotate your thumbs in towards each other and see if you can press just a little bit farther. And then bring it back in again. Let's do that one 2 more times. Press back, thumbs are out. Rotate your thumbs in, press back a little farther if that is feeling good for you. And return. Good. And one more time, press thumbs out, rotate thumbs in, and press back a little farther. Good. You can unwind yourself from that one. We're going to take one hand and give yourself a pat on the opposite shoulder, and then pull your elbow across, checking in to make sure that shoulder is low. So if you need to reset, shoulder low, and then arm pulled across, we're looking for a stretch through our rear shoulder muscles. And once we start to relax into this one, maybe the muscles that sit between our shoulder blade and backbone on this stretching side. While we're here, we'll multitask and get a neck stretch as well. So you can drop your ear towards the hand that's currently on your shoulder. Great, and then you can unwind yourself from that. Head comes back to neutral. We'll do 3 slow shoulder circles on this side that was just stretching. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Shoulder is set back and down. Arm comes across. Gentle pressure to bring that elbow a little further across for a stretch. Looking for the stretch through your rear shoulder muscles and then maybe through your rhomboids in between your shoulder and backbone, shoulder blade and backbone. Dropping your ear towards the hand that's currently resting on your shoulder as well. And then easing your way back to center with your gaze, taking that arm off to the side, 3 slow shoulder circles here. Great. For the next stretch, hands will be on your lap. We will do a hinge here for a little bit of low back release. So hands are here for support. Hinging forward, maintaining that nice long spine. Or if you like the cat-cow move where you have a little bit more spinal movement through that stretch and exercise, you can go ahead and do that right now as well. If you're here in your forward hinge, thinking about the long spine, tailbone stretching towards where your seat of your chair and the back of your chair meet, and head stretching towards the ceiling out front of you. And then coming back up nice and slow. Good. Backs of your hands will either slide into your imaginary back pockets or onto your hips, whatever feels more comfortable for for your shoulders. And then we will take our elbows and just actively pull them back. And we'll start to focus on our breathing a little bit more now. So this will offer you a little bit of front shoulder and possibly chest stretch. And then you can appreciate how when we're in this more open position, we can take a little bigger breath in, filling up through our rib cage, and a nice even breath out, maintaining our posture. So nice even breaths in and out. Good. We'll do one more big breath in and out like this. And then you can unwind your arms from that. One last stretch for you also with some breathing focus here. Couple different options. So it's our side flex that we were doing as an oblique exercise, but now we'll use this as a bit of a stretch. So one hand might be on your arm of your chair if you require. You can either just side flex or open up with a big stretching arm to the side. If you have a little bit of support, either on your lap or on the arm of your chair, maybe you can take a moment in this stretched position to now feel like your breath is kind of being directed to making more space at your side body. So big breaths in and out. And then the arm comes back down. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So stabilizing as you need to, reaching up and over, and taking a few nice expansive breaths in and out here. Great, bring that one back down. Good. And then we'll do a few slow neck circles to finish things off today. Still nice even breaths in and out as you're here. Nice and slow. If you find one spot that you need to stop for a little extra stretch, go right ahead. And change direction as well. Great. After this last circle, you can just bring your head back to center. I'll be here for a few moments after class. We're going to finish class with our 3 big breaths in, starting down low and then reaching for the ceiling. The last one there. And thanks for joining me today. Nice to see you.
Thanks, Julie.
Thank you. That breeze just keeps on tropically blowing behind you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.